Hey folks, I was in a 3D printing forum earlier and I saw somebody who posted a AI generated design, but they needed help creating it or making it go into the actual 3D printer. So we're going to look at the design here. We're going to work on making it inside of Onshape, and we'll go over some of the issues that AI has when generating this stuff, but more importantly, how it can be used. And I have a video coming about that stuff next week as well. So let's jump into this thing and take a look at what's going on here exactly. Okay, so this is what it is. It's a seed catcher version 2. I don't know what it's for. It's obviously to catch seeds, but we need to take a look at a couple of things to get started with. Down here on the bottom, it has the general dimensions. So it's 10 1/4 inches overall. They say length. I would prefer width. The depth here is 2 inches and the height is 2 inches. I'm also not a big fan of generating stuff that has stuff in fractional and decimal stuff. Keep it one or the other. It's a little interesting to see. Overall, the design, the 3D model looks awesome, the generated thing, but there are some things that we need to take a look at. First off, this picture is showing that this is a through hole. It's not indicated anywhere on the drawing that it's a through hole. Secondly, we have our layout here. So this is supposed to be our front view. Below our front view is our top view, which is not correct. And then we have our left side view here, which really should be our right side view and should be in line with this. And then this is our rear view. And I don't know what that is or how that's actually the rear, because the rear view should be a mirror image of basically this thing. So that part's a little messed up. The other issue we have here is this top view. This tube, according to the top view, shoots out towards the front of the object, and that's not the case. So we're going to go through the process of making this thing inside of Onshape. It's not terribly difficult, but we'll make sure we get it all solved here. Now, to start off with, before we do anything, we're going to break this down to basic shapes that we need to have, and then once we have the basic shapes, it gets a whole lot easier. But if we take this as its most basic format here, we're going to have a rectangle over in this area, and then the bottom area is going to be a circle or a cylinder. And that's about all the stuff that we need to have this thing get set to begin with. We'll merge those shapes and get everything working, not a big deal. But let's jump back over to Onshape, and we're going to flip back and forth between this and the other things quite often. But let's jump over to Onshape first here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do inside of Onshape, we're going to start off with Sketch, go to our top view, and rotate over to the top. I'm going to hit G for rectangle, or I might even hit R. R is a center point rectangle. It just helps keep things on the origin, which may be useful for us later. It's not super important, but I'm going to do it anyway. So we said it was 10 1/4 or 10.25 and 2 inches. Going back into our drawing, that's what we have. 10 1/4 is the overall width, and the overall depth from front to back is 2 inches. And that's great. If we take a look here, we have the height of where this transition starts all the way down. They're not in proportion with each other of where this is showing it at and where that is. So we have to make a little bit of guess work here. We see that the total height is supposed to be 5.5 inches, but that's going, not including this, which this one is including that. So again, there's a little bit of play in there that we'll have to kind of just make some assumptions or make some changes with. But I'm going to say, if we have this as being 1.5 inches, and from here all the way to the bottom is supposed to be 4, basically we're going to have this thing go down to this area and then go beyond that. We have work to do. So I'm going to just make some assumptions. I'm going to say this is probably, if we take a look in proportion, this is 1.5 inches. So this is probably about 2 inches. So we're going to extrude that 2 inches, and then we're going to try to figure out what to do with this next part. So I'll hit my green check. I'll go to extrude. I'll click on my closed loop, which will turn gray. And then I'll type in 2 for the inches and hit my green check mark. Cool, not a problem. Now I'm going to turn off the different views here or the work planes because it's just going to be easier for me to work with them with those off right now. The next thing we're going to do, we need to make that circle coming off of the bottom. We know from the top of this to the bottom of that it's supposed to be 4 inches. So we're going to make a work plane that from the top down to here that's 4 inches away, and we'll draw our circle on the origin. That circle is going to have a diameter of 1/8 of an inch here. So we'll get that going, and then we'll figure out how high that's supposed to be up, and we'll figure out the rest of it here in a second. But let's go ahead first with the work plane. We're going to go to plane, and then we have offset. I'm going to go from the top. We're going to change direction with the black arrow, and we would say that wants to be 4 inches away, just confirming the top to the very bottom is 4. So I'm cool with that. I'll hit my green check, and then we have a work plane. Now I'm going to go to Sketch. I'm going to click on plane 1. We'll go to the bottom of the part, and this is why I made this centered on the origin, because then I can just do this, and it's telling us the diameter is 1.125. So 1.125. Cool. That already looks visually not correct compared to the size here, but that's the dimensions that they gave us here with all that. And again, I don't understand this drain notch or any of the other stuff. So our next step here is figuring out how tall this is before that taper kind of starts. If we take a look here, it has the hose bead. It says it's 1/8 of an inch and 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to assume that each of these is 1/8 of an inch. So that's going to add up to 1/4 of an inch that we want to extrude this thing up by. So I'm going to go to, or finish my sketch. I'm going to go to extrude, do that, and I'm going to do 0.5, and we got that. Now, it's not perfect. We have some other work to do. And what we could also do, you see how there are 2 different parts, we generate multiple parts. There's other ways around that. I'm going to go back and delete these parts because I want to show you other ways to accomplish this same thing. So I'm going to do the same thing with this, except instead of going 4 inches this time, I'm going to go 3.5. That counts for the height that we're coming up. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it helps keep the part more cohesive as we go through and build it. So 1.125, cool. Because what we're able to do now is I can project this rectangle down to that circle, and then I can continue that circle down farther once we have it in there, which is probably the correct order of operations. This is just one of the things you have to kind of play with when you're going through and working on a drawing that you're not quite sure of. So to do this, we're going to go to Loft. Loft will be there. We have our profiles. We can just click on the bottom of the part. We don't have to draw anything for that. And then we're going to click on this, and you can see it's going to generate a shape where it merges those guys together. We'll hit our green check mark, and we have that there. Lovely, Bob's your uncle. Let's go ahead back on the sketch. We'll click on this now. We'll click on our circle on the bottom, and we'll get that to go out 1.125. Fantastic. And now I can just extrude this down that 1/2 inch. We still have some more work to do, but that's fine. All right, I'm happy with that as a beginning point. Let's go back here and take a look at this. So it's supposed to be 1/8 of an inch thick and 1/8 of an inch tall. Okay, a lot of this stuff doesn't give me a lot of information because it says it fits a 1 inch in the diameter hose. Is that hose supposed to be internal or is it external? If it's internal, why is there this ribbing here? I don't know what's going on with all that, but I guess we'll figure that out as we go forward here. So I am now going to sketch on this, go to the bottom again. We're going to do 1.125 plus 0.125. Actually should probably be 1/8 of an inch, but we'll leave it as is for now. I'll fit my green check, and we're going to extrude this, and we're going to move it going upwards, and we're going to do that 0.125. I'm actually going to do a 1/4. I think that's going to fit better with what the design looks like it's meaning to do. And then we have that there. All right. So we have the beginning stages. We don't have any of the detail work. We don't have the slot. We don't have the hole. We don't have whatever this thing is. And I don't know what's going on with this drain notch. I'm assuming it's somewhere on the side here. We'll figure out what's going on with that. But we'll go through and get that solved here in a moment. So the next thing we need to do is you can see this whole thing's hollow. We need to make it hollow. So to do that, we're just going to go to the shell tool. Shell tool is found up here. All we're going to do is say, hey, we want 1/8 of an inch on this face. And we want going all the way down to that face. And we're going to see if it wants to work for us. This red's telling us it's going to be a problem. So if that's the case, we can just back this up here. So we're going to delete the shell. We'll delete that extrude. And we'll delete that. And we're going to see if we can shell this one now without those pieces on there. And if they continue to be a problem, we can go back and work on it. Whatever. So let's go back over to shell. Click on that. Click on that. There we go. And 0.125. There we go. All right, for this instance, we're just going to keep it at a 1/10 of an inch because it's working. I'm not sure by bringing that up another 1/4 causes it. You see how it fills in there? But we're going to leave that as 0.1 and it will be fine. We'll just deal with it. All right. So then we'll go back and sketch on here. We'll add on that extra diameter, so 1.125 plus 0.125. I know it's a 1 1/4, but sometimes I like to just let it go and do its thing. All right, so we'll go there. It's going to be 1/2 inch, as we said. We'll move that upward. Or no, excuse me, 1/4 inch, my bad. And we'll move that upward. Okay, that's fine. It's not perfect, but neither is our drawing. This is the most difficult part of this whole thing because it's the least detailed. We can see all the lines, but we don't really know what's going on with that. The only thing we do need to make sure we do here is, and again, this is a quick and dirty trick, but I need to make sure that it is 1.125. That's what it says very specifically in the drawing. So I need to make sure this part, because we had to change the thickness of the walls, I want to make sure this part's done. So I'm just going to go remove through all, and it will cut out the hole that makes sure that that fits the proper size. So that's fun. I also kind of like how it spins in there. That's kind of neat. Let's go ahead and talk about some other things that we need to do before adding the last few pieces here. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to add a fillet or chamfer to the inside edge of this. I'm going to bring it down to probably a 1/16. Just in case the hose is going in there, we want to make sure it's easier to insert inside of there. The same thing on the top. We may run into issues like that, so I'm not going to do that there, but we can do that later. And I'm going to do the same thing to the outside, but I'm probably going to do it with a chamfer. So I'll add a chamfer here of it looks like we're going with a 32nd, which is totally fine. We got that, and that's not going to like that, so we'll do that. There we go. Now that's looking a little better, looking like more like we meant what's going on there. And then we can go in and start adding on the final pieces. So let's go ahead and sketch, click on this guy. We know based off of this, we have a circle. It's a half, oh, there, maybe that hidden line there is the drain hole. I honestly don't know, but there's a dimension going to nothing. Do you see that there? There's nothing associated with that. But we have an 1/8 inch hole centered 1 inch from the left edge and a 1/2 inch down from the top. Okay. So that's our first step here. We're going to sketch right on the side there. And we're going to put in a circle. It's a 1/8 inch circle, so 0.125. Said it was a 1/2 inch from the top and 1 inch from the side. So we'll do that, and then I'm just going to not sketch. We're going to go extrude, click on this, remove, and distance is through all according to that drawing that we have there. All right. We need to put on the slot. It has the same kind of thing. It's centered, it's 2 inches from, yeah, these dimensions are rough. All right, slotted hole, centered, 2 inches from the right edge down, and it doesn't tell us at all how big that slot is. I have no idea how big it is. It looks like it's roughly an 1/8 inch tall, and maybe we'll go with a 1/2 inch because that's what we have. I don't know. So we're going to play with that. Let's go back into sketch here. We're just going to go with a rectangle. We'll draw that. I'm going to make it 1/2 inch. There we go. It's going to be, what did we say here? It says it's a 1/2 inch, 2 inches from the right edge and a 1/2 inch down from the top. Okay. So we'll go to dimension. We'll click on that and that. You're going to be 2 inches over, which seems excessively far compared to our other stuff. And, oh, 1/2 inch. That's right. There we go. Okay. Now, we want to go through and slot these out. There are tools in here for slots. I prefer to just do it this way. I don't know why. It's just how I've always done drafting stuff. We have that, and then I can hit M for trim and get rid of those pieces there. So that slot is in there. Again, that slot looks way more over. Maybe it was supposed to be a 1/2 inch from this side over. So instead of dimension from here to there, maybe that was supposed to be the 2 inch. Ooh, hold on. Let's back up here. Let's get rid of this dimension and redimension this line to there and see if that does. It's closer. It's still not right, but it's closer. All right, then we're going to cut this part out. Remove, we're just going to do the 0.1. So that's the thickness of the wall. Got that. So that's through now. And then the last piece that we have to do is this little guy. It's 1.5 inches tall. It has a shield, and it's 1/8 of an inch thick. We're not going to make it 1/8 of an inch because we're just going to build it straight on top of this. So we're going to sketch on top of here. It's going to be off by just a little bit, and I'm okay with that. We'll go to G for rectangle. Did that. We're going to extrude this whole thing up. 1.5. So we have that there, and it looks like it has a little bit of a taper or rounded edge to it, so we'll add that on, and then we should be in real good shape. But let's go ahead and get that fillet on there. There and there. Cool. We're going to make that, I don't know, 1/2 inch? Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. Now, according to the image here, we have a bunch of rounds. It doesn't necessarily look like that. There's a few, I guess, if you look really closely. So we're going to add some fillets to the outside edges if it allows us. If it doesn't, there are other ways we can go about solving this, but we'll do the basics here. So if I do that, that, and that, And then we're going to come in and do the inside edges as well. 2, 3, and 4. Boom. All right. Now, we have that in there. I'm going to turn off. Where's this plane at? Plane. There you are. Go away. All right. So if we take a look, we pretty much have what's there, especially if we go to our front view. Is it exact? No, this distance is not correct because the measurements that they gave us are not correct. This is the best approximation I can come up with while looking at this thing, and it largely solves most of the problems. We can really fine-tune this pretty easily and get it set to where we want if we had more precise dimensions. But because there's some conflicting things or some missing details, we can't go fully in it, but we get that solved. And then all I do for 3D printing is right-click on this, go to Export, we select our STL file, give it a name, make sure it's in millimeters, and export it, and we have our STL file done. So you can absolutely take generated things and make them three-dimensional, make them ready to print very quickly and very easily. Just make sure you know exactly what you're looking for when you're doing it. But that's going to wrap us up here for today. Take a look for next week because I have lots more AI stuff coming up that will be far more useful than this. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.